Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is a screencast-o-matic presentation for the warm-ups, so the questions and the answers of the day for this half of the warm-up packet cycle that we're currently on. Please remember that your task here is to copy down the question and the answer for full credit. Please also realize that you have to format your answers in a different colored font too. Remember that when you're finished, you may go ahead and submit accordingly. Let's go ahead and get started. From Monday and Tuesday. What are some key roles that a president plays and fulfills when serving as head of the executive branch? In this lesson, we looked at some of the different roles and powers of the President of the United States of America. Let's go ahead and get started. First, the President acts as chief executive, which is technically the head of the executive branch. Essentially, the President oversees agencies that enforce and carry out the laws of the nation. Additionally, the President also acts as chief legislator, where they essentially implement or at least plan out a policy agenda for their administration and what they like to see done. They also try to directly or indirectly influence Congress, and this can be effective. Additionally, the President also acts as chief diplomat, where they essentially head the dynamics of U.S. relations with other countries and entities. Essentially, the President acts as a guide for foreign policy and defining key agenda goals. Additionally, the President acts as Commander-in-Chief, overseeing and using the U.S. military and our special forces capabilities to keep America safe and to protect us from domestic and foreign threats. The President also acts as party leader, where essentially they serve as a symbolic and active figurehead of their political party while in office and or while campaigning. The President is often the most popular person in that party too. And also the President acts as Chief of State. This tends to take on more of a ceremonial role in nature, as they tend to act as leaders, fulfilling ceremonial duties, while both at home and abroad. Sometimes special occasions have come to define the presidency, and so the President, in terms of upholding tradition, fulfills these by acting as Chief of State. Let's move on to the next question of the day. From Thursday and Friday. What are some other roles that the President of the United States has that makes their position both exclusive and unique? In this lesson, we looked at some key controversial things that define and describe the presidency in today's times. Keep in mind, the Constitution doesn't outlay too much specifics about what the President can and cannot do. Let's go ahead and get started. So in terms of lawmaking, the President of the United States cannot physically pass laws by him or herself, but they can sign collective laws that have been upheld by Congress and gone through the legislative process. They can also veto, pocket veto, and more. However, their relationship with Congress is somewhat convoluted, as a president can be impeached. Our founding fathers thought that it was important for Congress to have that power or check over the president. Now, in terms of appointments, the President of the United States also has the special power to designate key heads of agencies and executive boards to lead the country. But the President also has the power to appoint people to the courts, both the federal courts and also Supreme Court. Of course, those appointments must be approved by the Senate. Additionally, the President acts as economic leader. Now, although the President presides over the U.S. or the world's economy, the fact is that the President can implement a series of policies that could alter the way that the economy functions in America. Also, the President might pass executive orders. The ability to pass executive declarations is essentially what an executive order is. Executive orders have the weight of an action or an agency backing of some type of provision. They are different than laws, and we'll get more in depth to what executive orders are. Also, executive privilege. Executive privilege is the ability to withhold information from Congress or the public out of national security interests. We're going to talk more about what this is and what it's not later on. And additionally, emergency powers. The President of the United States has the authority to act and mobilize agencies during a series of crises to bring about safety, security, and prosperity. All these things and more will be the focus of this particular lesson. Thank you so much for tuning in, and good luck with completing the rest of the lessons that coincide with these warm-ups.